If it ever doesn't. Hello and welcome to Mousecast, the podcast where the mind meets the magic. Hey, we have got the whole gang with us tonight. Hawk is here, Matt is here, Megan is here, and yeah, I'm around too. So, yep. Guys, how you doing? We've had a fun game night last week for our halftime entertainment in the middle of March Mouseness, but second half, third quarter, it's time to go. How are you guys all doing?
Doing good. Ready to talk some music tonight.
What's up, Caleb?
I was about to say this. Hey, Caleb, how are you? Glad to have you here tonight. Welcome. So we are going into March Mouseness. We're in the third quarter now. Megan's up this time, and we are doing our top 16 songs. So we're doing songs tonight. This could be actual like songs. It could be soundtracks. It's music. So with that, Megan, your show.
Well, let me just say 16 songs. Disney, I could have picked any million number of things to do. So
welcome, Mark Jones, by the way.
Let's just start with, I decided that I could only pick one song per any movie. So that's why you don't see 3 songs from Little Mermaid, 4 songs from Lion King, so on and so forth. 1 song per movie. So I picked, and if I couldn't pick, y'all, I even went online, and for some of these, I couldn't pick between a couple songs and movies, and I went just to see which one had won an award, and I went with like the Oscar winner or the Grammy winner. That's how some of these were chosen. So, Chuck, what's up there at the very top there? Can we zoom in?
Yeah, okay, so it's time to zoom in here. So we will go on into the top quadrant, and our first 4, here we go.
So our top one, When You Wish Upon a Star from Pinocchio versus the Avengers main theme. You could not get 2 more opposite songs here to start with, I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, talk about new school versus old school.
So, Hawk, let's start with you. What do you think?
Well, I'm a huge Avengers guy, so I'm going to have to go with the Avengers out of this. I know we got a lot to go through, but you know, the Avengers main theme, I mean, it just sets the tone for that whole series, right? You just can't step away from it. Once it's in your head, you're diving in.
It is stuck. Yes, absolutely. Chuck, what do you think?
You know, I want to be with Hawk on this one because I do love me some Avengers. Can't wait for Avengers Doomsday. But When You Wish Upon a Star, I mean, that tune might be the quintessential Disney song. It's Jiminy Cricket. You can hear him singing it. It's part of wishes. It's part of everything. You know, the When You Wish Upon a Star is in the movie opening. That is everything about Disney. If there was a soundtrack for the Disney essence, When You Wish Upon a Star might just be it. So I've got to go much as I love the Avengers main theme, I gotta go with the classic, "When You Wish Upon a Star."
Okay, and Matt, I see you nodding along. Are you joining Chuck with your choice?
Yeah, I'm going with Chuck on this one. I've never seen the Avengers, so I mean, I had to actually go on Spotify and listen to the Avengers main theme song because I had no idea what it was. But "When You Wish Upon a Star," the nostalgia, one of the first songs you think of when you think of Disney, easily moves on for me.
This one is hard
Folks
for
at
me.
home, as you're listening as well, don't be afraid to comment. So,
This one's hard for me as well. I love the Avengers theme, but I'm also gonna go with "When You Wish Upon a Star." I can't get away from it. It is classic Disney. Oh, but
all right. So, "When You Wish Upon a Star" is moving on.
okay, so we know what Mark Jones thinks. He thinks that "You'll Be in My Heart" needs to move on here, but we have "You'll Be in My Heart" from Tarzan versus "A Dream Is a Wish Your Heart Makes" from Cinderella. Is that right? Blinking
Yeah,
on
Cinderella.
my movies. So Matt, let's start with you on this one.
I need a buy on this one. I have no clue where to go with this one. This is like my final two. If these came down to this, I'd want a tie. Um, oh man, I mean, "You'll Be in My Heart." I mean, I hear that song now, and I'm just like, it just hits me different. Just actually listening to it. A, a dream is a wish your heart makes. I mean, Cinderella, classic. Oh man, um, I think Eileen, "You'll Be in My Heart." Having two little kids, it just kind of reminds me of them. So that's gonna push me over the edge. So that's what I'm gonna go with. "You'll Be in My Heart."
Hawk, what do you think?
I think Chuck's got that screen cut perfect. I'm going with the Avengers main theme again. Get in there. But no, I think
We'll just make that go away then.
I think I will go with "You'll Be in My Heart." I my daughter is she's a huge Cinderella fan, and I want to claim that, but I am just not that deep Disney nostalgia guy. I want the new stuff. I want more updated music. I don't want the things I've heard for 55 years or 54, almost 55. I'm on my way, but I don't want.
That's a different Disney song, Hawk.
Yeah, exactly. Chuck, "Let It Go." That's another one.
Yeah, I think we'll get to that one too.
but
Tonight's gonna be one of those nights.
but I do think
Yeah.
I would go with "You'll Be in My Heart." That would be my choice.
What do you think, Chuck?
Yeah, I'm actually with the whole gang on this one. Much as where I said for our previous one about the nostalgia, "A Dream Is a Wish Your Heart Makes" is a good song and classic, but it doesn't have the same just level of magic that "When You Wish Upon a Star" has. Where "You'll Be in My Heart," and Matt, I'm right with you. I'm hearing it right now, and it's not actually the movie version, like in the movie. I'm hearing the Phil Collins performed version. That not only did he perform it, he wrote it. The Tarzan the musical version, if you hear that version, it's in some respects even better. So I think it's going to be a clean sweep for this one. "You'll Be in My Heart" moves on.
Well, I didn't get to vote yet, but I agree. Yes.
Oh, well, you did. I'm sorry, but yeah, I thought you had. Sorry, I thought you said you were.
There, Chucky boy. What's going on here?
Sorry about that.
My vote is also "You'll Be in My Heart." Man, Phil Collins.
See, there you go. I
We
knew.
just need a Phil Collins appreciation show, as far as I'm concerned. Basically, the
What
music
an
from
amazing-
Tarzan and the music from Brother Bear, just so good.
Just the fact that he is one of those musicians that literally plays every instrument, writes everything. He has laid down entire albums by himself over his career. He is just an amazing musician that doesn't get enough respect with some of the greatest that have ever lived. He really is an incredible.
Love Phil Collins. Absolutely.
And has even starred in a not starred, but been in performed in a Disney film too, in person. He actually played one of the police detectives in Hook, the live action version that starred Robin Williams. He was
now I
in
have to go back and watch that because I did not realize that. I haven't seen Hook.
Yes,
I love
he
Hook.
actually. Love Hook too. Speaking of another amazing soundtrack.
Yes.
So.
Yes, one that is not represented in these.
Not in this list, but that's okay.
Really great. It's my first exposure to Julia Roberts and to Maggie Smith, whom I absolutely adore.
But
Maggie moving
Smith,
on.
she's lovely.
2 more classics, Under the Sea from Little Mermaid, and our first Pixar, maybe our only Pixar. I don't remember how many Pixars. I didn't pick a lot of Pixar.
No, you got Let It Go in there.
Well, Let It Go's not Pixar, though. You've Got a Friend in
No,
Me.
it is not Pixar. You're right. It's Disney.
And Under the Sea. So, classic Disney, 1989, the start of that whole Renaissance period where we had all the really great music. That was a hard one to pick. There are a lot of songs from Little Mermaid that could have been on this list. And then You've Got a Friend in Me. I'll start this one. I'm going to go with Under the Sea. It just, for me, that was, Little Mermaid was the first princess I ever fell in love with. Under the Sea is one of my very favorite songs. That being said, my brother walked down the aisle at his wedding to You've Got a Friend in Me. So we have a lot of ties to that one too. But this one for me is Under the Sea. Totally, I get.
Mark Jones says You've Got a Friend in Me is my pick. Nostalgia with the kids. So, there you go.
So, Matt, what do you think on this one?
It's another tough one. Personally, I'm going with Under the Sea, but my 3-year-old is going to not talk to me for, I don't know, maybe a couple minutes. Because he loves Toy Story right now, and he'll just start going, You Got a Friend in Me. So that just, every time he starts singing it, it just makes me smile and laugh. But I personally just, after a little while, You've Got a Friend in Me just kind of gets, I don't know, this kind of blah. So Under the Sea I can listen to numerous times. I love the beat, the rhythm. It's more uplifting. So I'm going with Under the Sea.
What about you, Chuck?
This one's hard. They're both classic, new classic, like you said, that kind of that Renaissance, Disney Renaissance time period. But Under the Sea, though, I think Matt kind of sums it up very well. It just has a melody. It's almost like, in some respects, a song that's not on this list. Maybe should have been, maybe not. And that is It's a Small World. Whether you love it or hate it, earworms are earworms for a reason. You know what I mean? I mean, it gets into your head. You start thinking about Under the Sea and you just can't stop. You just hear that melody all the time.
Yeah, that is an earworm. It's a Small World is a migraine. That is not an earworm. Under the Sea, I love the ride, and you hear the song playing, and it's always a pleasant experience, right? When we go on that ride, it's always a fun, upbeat. I always enjoy it. I don't anxiously await getting off the ride, right? And then you end in Slinky, and you stop there, and you hear You've Got a Friend in Me, and I want to wrap my hands around the penguin's neck and just no, I don't want to take it that far. But no, it's not You Got a Friend in Me. I start to cringe a little. It just doesn't have that same. It gets overplayed too quick in my head, and very reminiscently of It's a Small World. I just get that little Disney cringe. Give me away, and I need to get away. So Under the Sea is definitely a clean sweep here. Get that You Got a Friend in Me out of here.
Excellent. Okay.
All right. So
it's interesting. We've agreed a lot early. I'm wondering how the later rounds are going to go here as we get further in.
It's going to get interesting.
Yo-Ho, A Pirate's Life for Me, which originated with the ride, correct? They didn't create that for the movie.
The
Originated with,
Exitencio wrote this, yes.
and then, of course, Let It Go, Let It Go. So, Chuck, which one are you going with between a pirate and Elsa?
All right. I knew this day would come. Let It Go swept the world and is immensely popular, and you just, as soon as you start hearing that, you start singing, let it go, let it. All, especially little girls. I mean, they start going crazy. So, with that though, I think in this particular case, it's aptly named because it's time to let it go. Because, ladies and gentlemen, you cannot do better than Yo Ho, Yo Ho, A Pirate's Life for Me. We pillage and plunder and rifle and loot. Drink up, me hearties, Yo Ho. I am going with Yo Ho.
Well, your buddy also made a comment.
I was gonna say
You were about to lose a friend.
Yeah. Tom is correct there. It says if you pick Let It Go over Pirates, you ain't got a friend in me. And Tom, you could not have put it in a better way, ladies and gentlemen. I like Let It Go. It's a great song and everything like that. But for this particular case, it is aptly named. It's time to let it go because Yo Ho is. I mean, we're back to the reason that I'm choosing When You Wish Upon a Star. Yo Ho, Yo Ho, A Pirate's Life for Me. I mean, that's another just quintessentially classic, Disney. And so, it has to be Yo Ho. It just has to be Yo Ho. In fact, if you want, I'll go ahead and move it over right now, shall I?
Let's let other people have their say. I don't know that you're going to be wrong here. Hawk, let's get your opinion here.
I'm going to have to agree with Chuck that we got to get that one moving over. I mean, one, it is that kind of bad guys theme in Disney too, like it's the guys you love to hate. It's that bad apple element. Whereas Let It Go just, I don't know, so as a former, I'll say it like this, as a former DJ, any song that literally ravishes the world and goes number one everywhere for a lengthy amount of time is a song generally that most DJs never want to hear again. Like, there are 40 or 50 songs that you hear at every event or every big thing that everybody goes nuts to hear, that DJs cringe. Again, they're just cringe-worthy songs that you're like, oh, I really don't want to play this, and people keep asking for it because, it's just overplayed. It's been oversaturated. It's had its moment, and now it's done. It's time to let it go away. So, let it go away. I'm going with Yo Ho.
Matt, what about you? Are you joining the crowd here? Or are you going in another direction?
I'm in the minority. I'm letting Pirates.
You are a 3-year-old.
Not yet. You're not. It's only 2 here so far.
Yeah, I mean, between Tom and Mark, Hawk and Chuck, I mean, that's 4 against 1 at this point. So, honestly, with Pirates, I can hear it once and be done for a while. Let it go. Once again, I just think about nostalgia with my kids, more or less my daughter. That was one of her first favorite movies. So I'm going with Let It Go.
So Matt can only.
It's all right, Matt. Stick with your beliefs.
Yep. Matt can only afford to anger one child a night. You got to keep it. You got to keep.
Hey, I mentioned
That's right.
one of them equal love tonight, so.
That's right.
For me,
all right. So Megan, the question is it a tie or are we? Do we have a decision here? No pressure, Megan.
Only one of these songs evokes both a mental image from a movie from me. At the same time, it also thrusts me straight into a theme park visit. And so I'm going with Pirates as well. It just automatically, I'm just there. I am in the middle of Magic Kingdom. I am ready for my vacation. And back in another lifetime, when I worked with the University of Arkansas's men's tennis team, they actually included this song as part of their warm-up music because it's got that beat and it's got, all the heaviness to it. And just so anything that can put me in Disney World, but also pump up an athletics team ready to go, go to battle in the SEC. I'm here for it. Give me Yo-Ho all day. Plus, Johnny Depp. Just, yeah, all the things. Yes, for Yo-Ho. Getting completely different sound here. We have Beauty and the Beast and Go the Distance from Hercules. This is hard for me, so I'm curious to see what you all say, because Go the Distance is really underrated. Hercules in general tends to be underrated.
It is.
Hawk, what do you think on these two?
Oh, I'd rather Go the Distance than hear Beauty and the Beast again. Just for similar reasons to Let It Go. Just Beauty and the Beast is just one of those songs. I can't say what we used to say. We used to do our own like Weird Al Yankovic version of that song when it was popular, and I can't even repeat what our lyrics were. But we'll just go the distance. Yeah, let's go further away from Beauty.
Mousecast is a family show.
It is. That's why I'm not saying it. So
let's pivot to the family man with the young children. Matt, what do you think?
Yeah, I was about to say, Matt.
This one's super tough. You think Beauty and the Beast, you literally think the song Beauty and the Beast, like Angela Lansbury. Just, it's a fantastic song.
Mark Jones agrees with you. He says, sorry, it has to be Beauty and the Beast for me. Nostalgia again.
And Go the Distance, like we mentioned, Hercules, such an underrated Disney film. Man. Can I phone a friend on this one?
Yeah, you can phone Hawk, but we
you already lost the friend in you. You had it.
That's right.
You lost the friend in you, so no, you can't phone a friend. They've been eliminated.
That's right. True. Okay, I think I'm leaning Go the Distance because I think for Beauty and the Beast, Be Our Guest, I think is my favorite song from that movie. So I'm going to give Go the Distance the edge on this matchup.
Okay, Chuck, are you going with the crowd or are you splitting off here?
This is hard. And again, Mark Jones had said, this is nostalgia. And Beauty and the Beast is nostalgia. Angela Lansbury, you just, you start to hear that and you just kind of start to almost do that waltz, like, that from the waltz scene.
You get lost in that song.
But then again, Go the Distance is a song that if you are in any sort of sport, any sort of anything that you got to accomplish something, this is your theme song. I can go the distance. I can go most anywhere to find where I belong. I love this song. I think this is a very underrated song in the Disney movie music pantheon. I was actually thrilled to see it here on this list because I am going the distance. I love this song. I know that it's Beauty and the Beast is very nostalgic. It really is very nostalgic. It's also a very short song.
You know what, though? I agree with you in a lot of what you said, but I will never forget Angela Lansbury and Murder, She Wrote. And Murder, She Wrote and Beauty and the Beast don't go hand in hand. So Angela Lansbury is Murder, She Wrote, not Beauty and the Beast for me. So, like, I got to go the distance. I got to keep the distance. So.
Okay, well, I got to go in another direction from all of you. I'm going to be the outlier here and pick Beauty and the Beast. For me, it's not the Angela Lansbury movie version. It is Celine Dion and Peebo Bryson singing the song from the end credits.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and I mean, if there was ever a Disney song, like Chuck said, you immediately get that, you start swaying to the music. If there was ever a song that made me think that I could ballroom dance when I've never done it a day in my life, this is it. Like, I can immediately just picture myself sweeping across. And I think, as someone who grew up with this, every little girl dreamed about that big ball gown dress and just, being swept around a ballroom and all that back in the 90s. And, oh, yeah, I'm going to pick Beauty and the Beast, but I'm okay with losing on this one because Go the Distance is such a great song also.
It is a good song. This was a tough matchup. This really was a tough matchup.
Ooh.
Oh, boy. Speaking of tough matchups.
Bare Necessities from Jungle Book or the Star Wars main theme? Oh boy. I mean, again, two very different movies.
Megan, what are you doing to us here?
Hey, I never promised to make it easy. It would have been fun if it was easy, Chuck.
I wish Matthew Woolley was on the show tonight. Like I wish he was on tonight because
Yeah.
he would have my answer. Boom, right there. He would be saying it.
Okay, Hawk. So
Mark
we'll start
Jones
with
says,
you. What is
"Whoa,
your
this one
choice
is
here?
impossible."
I think you're the only one who thinks this is easy.
Star Wars main thing, like it's iconic for a generation. They built a land dedicated to it at Disney. I understand the Bare Necessities has had its characters out there and tributes and little things, but not worthy of an entire land in a park. I just think what the iconic multi-generational nature of the Star Wars saga and what that has done from the 70s through today just has to hit it. It just has to be the best. Star Wars all the way. No questions asked.
Okay, Matt, let's go down to you.
Well, after Tom's comment, I don't know how I can follow this one up. Man, this is another tough one. It's to me, it's two totally different ends of the spectrum here. Bare Necessities, you think of Blue, you think fun, just bopping around and everything like that.
Oh, that's what I was thinking about.
And Star Wars is this, you think of John Williams and this. It's like Huck said, it's iconic. Like you think Star Wars, you think that song. So for me, I give the edge to Star Wars just because it's just so iconic. And when you think Star Wars, you just think of that theme song. So
I agree, Matt. You got my vote, buddy.
You found a friend, Matt. I'm so proud. Chuck, what do you think here?
All right, so, boy, I keep kind of going over the same things on this. So just like going all the way back up to the top and When You Wish Upon a Star, that's quite literally the theme song for the world of Disney. The Star Wars main theme is literally the theme song for an entire galaxy. A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. You can't help but just...
Wait, forgive me.
What? You can't help but just get jazzed up. You start to hear ba 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 ba, and you're like, yeah, come on. So, the Star Wars main theme. When it comes to movie music, it comes to John Williams music. This arguably might be his best composition of his entire lifetime. Is the Star Wars main theme. That's how, at least in my very humble opinion, how powerful it is. Mark Jones says, I have to give a nod to Star Wars 2. Just hearing the first chord takes me back to the drive-in theater with my dad watching Star Wars. And I remember those drive-in theaters because I saw it 1977 in a drive-in theater as well. So for me, it has to be the Star Wars main theme, and may the Force be with you.
And I'll make it a clean sweep here. Star Wars for me as well. I mean, there's only one piece of music here that the second that first chord plays, an entire theater of people waiting for a movie starts screaming and is up and out of their seats. And I mean, I love the Bare Necessities and it's all feel good, but Star Wars, yeah, no, that evokes a whole other level of epic proportions.
Yep, absolutely.
All
right, so we're in our final quadrant.
Yes. So Whole New World from Aladdin. This was another one really hard to pick one song from a movie because Aladdin has a lot to choose from here. And Almost There from Princess and the Frog. Again, two very different songs, different time periods of Disney, but really great music from both of these. Chuck, we'll start with you on this one.
this actually. I mean, where I said the last one was tough. I mean, it was and it wasn't. I mean, I was going to go Star Wars without a doubt every time. This is a whole different ballgame. Whole New World and Aladdin is a wonderful song. Almost There from Princess and the Frog, the last hand-drawn animated film, and another kind of like Go the Distance. It's kind of an inspirational thing, that it's full of, life and hope of, I'm almost there. We can make it. We keep working hard. Where, Whole New World is all about romance, and everything like that. This is hard. I mean, this is really, really tough. But I can only choose one, and I don't know why, to be honest. But every time I keep looking at these two here on this list, and I'm landing on Almost There, because I think it's for a newer kind of at that towards the end of that Renaissance Disney, before the switch over to completely digital animation. It's just a wonderfully inspiring song.
Matt, what do you think?
Yeah.
This one,
Mark says, I vote for A Whole New World simply as a protest to the loss of Splash Mountain. Man, come on.
I mean, he's not wrong.
Stealing my thunder.
This one's easy for me. Whole New World moves on. Aladdin's my favorite movie. And I think just the message of that song, just kind of, Aladdin changing Jasmine's perspective on living outside the castle walls and stuff like that with A Whole New World. It just speaks a lot to me, as far as changing people's viewpoints from their includes visions and stuff like that. So Almost There is a good song. It's catchy, but I could live without it. So I'm going with A Whole New World.
Megan, what's yours?
Hmm?
What's yours, Megan?
Mine, I'm going with Matt on Almost There. With Chuck and Almost There. I love the music from Tiana. That's where it hits for me. So that's what I'm going with. What do you think, Cox?
Okay, so I'm gonna say there's 4 viewers right now. One has already voted. The other viewers need to get in on this, because we are going to have our first split decision. Because
here comes the tie.
We are anything but almost there. We are heading for A Whole New World, because one, I'm not a fan of that other movie for exactly what Mark said in protest of Splash Mountain. And I feel if you took the overall soundtracks in each, because I'd kind of have to for this one to kind of edge one or the other, I really think Aladdin has the more superior music overall. And even if it was close on the songs themselves, if you were to look at the overall picture on both, I think Aladdin wins it hands down. And I'm going to say Whole New World has to win this one for me if we're focusing solely on music. If we are focusing on personal opinions, it's still winning, because I'm with Mark. They should have never changed Splash Mountain. That's all.
So here's the interesting thing: if Whole New World if she had not selected Whole New World and done Friend Like Me, I've changed my answer in a nanosecond. Because you have Robin Williams, and that's a whole different ball game. But at this point, we have 2 voting so far. Mark Jones has said A Whole New World, and as Hawk said, for the protest of the loss of Splash Mountain. Tom says A Whole New World. I don't know if we have anybody else yet that is going to make any votes, but at this point, it does look like, I guess, Whole New World is moving on.
I will say this is one of the ones that I had to go to the award winners to pick a song. I knew I had to have an Aladdin song, but I got stuck between what Aladdin song song would represent the movie here. And, Whole New World won the Grammy or the Oscar, whatever it was. And so that's what ended up here. Last one for round one.
So we come to our final pairing.
How Far I'll Go from Moana and Can You Feel the Love Tonight from Lion King. I'm going to start on this one. I feel like this one, I love both of these songs, and How Far I'll Go is just one of my very favorite from later Disney movies. But I'm not voting against Elton John here. So I'm going with Can You Feel the Love Tonight? Because this is another one where the entire soundtrack is just, oh my gosh. So I'm going with Can You Feel the Love. Matt, what do you think?
I think "Can You Feel the Love Tonight" is probably my least favorite song on that soundtrack. As much as a great song as it is, I mean, I'll go.
Well, Matt, we appreciate you being part of Mousecast, and so
that's fine. I'll be the. I'll can't say what I was going to say because it's a family show.
Us.
So yeah, How Far I'll Go just gets the nod for me on this one. Yeah, I will take Hakuna Matata. I will take the opening song to The Lion King over Can You Feel the Love Tonight. How Far I'll Go, outside of You're Welcome, I love this song. So I'm not going very far, I think, with this one, but that's what I'm going with.
You're going as far as you can go.
Okay, Hawk, how far are you going?
I'm going to Can You Feel Love Tonight. Elton John, you just can't. Sir Elton John, I've had the opportunity to see him in concert. His voice is amazing. The power behind that song when it first came out in the movie. And I agree with Matt. That's probably one of the weaker songs on that soundtrack. However, the name recognition, the artist doing it, everything else, I really think, Can You Feel the Love Tonight is where you have to go. I know Matt's got his cheering section in the comments right now. But we'll see how far he goes. It's all up to Chuck right now.
All right. Well, you have to ask me. This is a Lion King song. Enough said. It's Can You Feel the Love Tonight? But to your point, Hawk, I am going to go with, because there's two versions of this song. There is the version of this song that's actually in the film, and that's a very short song. It really is. But then there is the version that is in the credits, and that is performed by Sir Elton John. It is actually, there's more verses to it and all that. And so, the Elton John performed version of Can You Feel the Love Tonight is just phenomenal. It is magical. And yeah, I mean, you can't, I can feel the love for Can I Feel the Love Tonight, Lion King all the way.
All right, so as we go into the second round, I have to depart because this is not going to get any easier, so I'm going to take the rest of the night off.
All righty, folks.
Oh, it does get harder.
So
because
we have...
back to the top. And
here comes Caleb's matchup.
Oh, boy. When You Wish Upon a Star and You'll Be in My Heart. Yep. Oh, boy. So let's see.
Yeah, this is going to get harder.
Chuck, we'll start with you on this one.
Oh, thank you.
Actually,
I didn't breather on this one.
well, this one actually is pretty easy for me because it's When You Wish Upon a Star. See all my previous comments. I mean, this is more than just a song. This has become a soundtrack for the entire Disney entity. It's When You Wish Upon a Star.
Okay. Hawk, can I persuade you to weigh in here?
Yeah, you can. When You Wish Upon a Star. This is an easy one for me this time around. I think, same reason we kind of said Star Wars, Avengers, Chuck is right that it is the music of Disney. It's the quintessential Disney moment music. It's a little too, against the Avengers, it was a little too nostalgic for me. But in this realm, you're taking the most quintessential Disney song there is, and you're putting it against Phil Collins. He had enough hits on his own. He doesn't need You'll Be in My Heart. When You Wish Upon a Star. Moving forward.
Okay, Matt. What do you think?
This is like picking between my two kids. Like, this just doesn't...
While you're thinking about that, Matt, while you're thinking about it, Tom says he's doing a write-in now, and it's just for Hawk. He has a write-in for It's a Great Big He says a great big wonderful tomorrow. I think he means a great big beautiful
Yeah,
tomorrow.
That'll be a great, big, beautiful goodbye.
Come on. Sherman Brothers, buddy.
I
Sorry, Matt. I tried to buy as much time as I
no,
could
that's
for you.
fine, and I'm still. It's like 50.1 to 49.9, and I'm gonna go with "When You Wish Upon a Star." I hear that song, and I feel like I'm watching the fireworks show in front of the castle. It just screams Disney. I don't know why. It just does. I mean, but you'll be in my heart, like I said. Just I think about my kids, and then Hawk. I don't know if you remember a couple of years ago, they used this song for Tim Wakefield, and remembering him, and that literally drove me to tears, just because they brought his kids out right after that.
No,
that song was just like, it just invokes so much emotion and stuff like that. But yeah, if I'm going with Disney, and when I hear when You Wish Upon a Star, it just brings me to my happy place, as you want to call it. So that one's gonna very, very slight edge is gonna move on for me.
As much as I love You'll Be in My Heart, I'm gonna make this a clean sweep also. I mean, I immediately you think Jiminy Cricket and it's Disney and it just you can't get away from it. Absolutely.
All right, so we're going out to sea for this next pairing.
This one's gonna get, for me, this one gets a lot harder. Under the Sea versus Yo Ho, A Pirate's Life for Me. Let's see.
Well, then you start us off, Megan.
Oh man. Yeah, this one is hard for me. I think again, because like I said in the last round, Yo-Ho evokes both a movie image and a park feel for me. I'm going to go with Pirates on this one. I love Under the Sea, and I hate to see it not be here, but Pirates is just that. It's one of my Disney theme songs on the personal end of things. So I'm going to go with Pirates. Hawk, what do you think?
I'm going to go with Pirates, too, for the simple fact that the ride is longer slightly than Under the Sea, so I get to hear more of it. So, yes. Yo-Ho for me as well.
Matt, what do you think?
I'm going with Under the Sea. Like I said in the last round, Yo-Ho Pirate's Life for me, I can hear it once and I'm good. I love the ride and stuff like that, but it just doesn't, I don't know, just one of those songs that just doesn't do it for me. So Under the Sea, I love the upbeat sense of the song. It's fun. So I'm going with that.
Okay, we know that Mark Jones agrees also with Hawk and myself. He's also going with Yo-Ho. Chuck, what are you thinking?
And Mark Jones is absolutely correct. Under the Sea is going Under the Sea. Yo-Ho, Yo-Ho. This is another quintessential Disney song. You start hearing it and you just can't help but be transported to either Disneyland or Walt Disney World, depending on which one you prefer. Tom also sums it up saying Pirates wins. You're exactly right. And Yo-Ho, come here. Yo-Ho, well, wherever you are. Actually, I'm in the wrong one. Hold on. Let me select it here, wherever I went. So, yes, but Yo-Ho is moving on. There it is. All right, so our next matchup. Uh-oh. Go the Distance and Star Wars main theme.
Chuck, let's start with you on this one. What do you think?
No brainer. Star Wars. Period. Over, done with, lightsaber drop.
Same.
This is... I mean, you just can't... The same thing. Ba-ba-ba-ba. That's all it needs. That's it.
And we heard Hawk. Hawk is going to agree. Mark Jones agrees. Matt, do you agree as well, or are you going with Go the Distance?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Star Wars. It's just too iconic. It's gonna overpower Hercules in this one. So, as much as I prefer Hercules over Star Wars, I'm going with Star Wars.
Is stronger than Hercules. Kind of ironic, but it's gonna take out Hercules.
Yep. And again, unanimous. Star Wars. Pretty simple decision here on my end.
But wait, here we go.
This is going to be the hard one. The battle of the ballads here. Whole New World versus Can You Feel the Love Tonight? Oh, good grief. Oh. Hawk, tell me what you think here.
Sir Elton. Elton John. That was the memories I have of watching The Lion King, seeing it in the theater. If you want to talk nostalgia, I was in the Army in 1994 when it came out. We snuck off post for a long lunch, and myself and four other soldiers went and watched it in a movie theater full of Army moms and kids. And we were the only people in uniform in the middle of the day watching that movie. And when Mufasa died, I teared up in the theater. And this very sweet little 6-year-old girl, very loudly in a moment of silence, says, "Look, Mom, even the Army guys are crying." And the whole theater goes crazy, laughing to the point when we left, mothers were walking up behind us, and we're in uniform, all geared up and greasy and working. And they're tapping us on the shoulder, going, "It's okay. You're going to be okay. You'll be okay." And I'm like, it was the most like demasculating moments of my life. But it that movie just invokes so many memories for people, and it brings you to touch points in your life that I think even more so than Aladdin, it just is something we all experience at some point. And that emotion is so strong and just so run so deep. What that song represents in the movie, it moves on. I think it's more impactful than The Whole New World.
I'm going to agree with Hawk on this one. And for me, it's simply Elton John doing, singing it. I'm not going to vote against Elton John on this one. Chuck, your thoughts on this one?
This is a ditto. I was a big fan of, and I am a big fan of Lion King. Hawk, I'm right there with you. I saw Lion King in the theaters, turned around and went back to see it the very next day. It came in on VHS. I got it, put it in, watched it on VHS, tears streaming down the face, stopped it, rewound it, watched it again, just right then and there. So, it has to be Can You Feel the Love Tonight? And so
Matt,
that brings us to...
Hold on. We need to get Matt's thoughts on this one.
Oh, I thought we got Matt already.
It's
I'm
too
sorry.
late for me anyway.
I thought he said...
I was going to be the oddball.
I thought he had said A Whole New World.
Whole New World. Yeah, that would have been my go-to. That's my second favorite song in Aladdin. And like I mentioned before, Can You Feel the Love Tonight? To me, just wasn't... It was one of the weaker songs on the Lion King soundtrack, so I would have went with A Whole New World personally.
Now, what is your favorite song from Aladdin then?
Oh, it's Friend Like Me. I love Robin Williams. I love the Genie. Genie's my favorite character. So it's kind of like it's one of those I have your back kind of songs. So That's something that I just kind of strongly believe in personally. So it's just one of my favorite Disney songs ever.
Okay, this is where I feel like it gets really difficult because both of these songs...
Yeah, this starts to get hard.
Right smack dab
really hard.
At Disney. When You Wish Upon a Star versus Pirates. Matt, you seem like you know what you're thinking here, so go ahead and tell us what you think.
It's When You Wish Upon a Star, easily. I keep on saying it. Pirates, I'm all set. When You Wish Upon a Star, just the nostalgia, the memories. That's an easy one for me.
Hawk?
Mark Jones seems to agree with you. He says When You Wish is still the winner here.
I think we're going to come down to a battle of franchises, to be totally honest with you.
I think we are too, personally. But
When You Wish Upon a Star is definitely going to move on right here. As much as, Yo-Ho is such a quintessential Disney song, and it's dark and it's meaty, and it's just all the things I love about Disney, an opportunity to create a feeling and vibe and moment. But when you think about any Disney movie, you hear that When You Wish Upon a Star. So I think it has to go on. When You Wish Upon a Star.
Chuck, what do you think?
yeah, I have to agree. Yeah, I have to absolutely agree. It is the soundtrack for Disney, and I think that word soundtrack is going to be a very important word here in a few moments. So
I agree also. I think one of the things that I think of first when I think of When You Wish Upon a Star are the commercials. I mean, it's Disney rolls it out every time they want to, hit you where it counts and get you back to the park. That's the song that pulls people in.
Yeah.
That's the song that opens your wallets. Let's go.
That's right.
You open your bank account.
When you wish upon a star for 5 good numbers and the Powerball. That's right.
Oh, and the Star Wars theme versus Sir Elton John and Can You Feel the Love Tonight? Let's see, Chuck, let's start with you on this one.
Well, so we've been talking about Sir Elton John. Now it's Sir Elton John versus John Williams. It's John versus John, and in this case, John Williams wins out hands down. It is the Star Wars main thing. I love Lion King, my favorite Disney movie. I love the music from it. Sir Elton John, all power to you, but it's Star Wars. Tom agrees. He says Star Wars icon. Mark Jones says Star Wars. Sorry, Elton. It is Star Wars. I mean, it moves you in such a way that very few other pieces of music will do. So for me, it is the Star Wars main theme.
And on that, in that same string of thought, I'm going to jump in real quick and also agree with Star Wars because again, it is that the fact that one chord of music can get dozens, hundreds of people immediately on their feet, cheering, screaming, go. I mean, that just whole other level. So I'm also going with Star Wars. Hawk, you're nodding along.
Elton John was once Reginald Dwight. Reginald should there. John Williams was always John Williams. He was the master. Elton John is an amazing performer, but he once was Reginald. John Williams wins this one hands down. Star Wars for the win.
Okay, Matt, is it a clean sweep on this one, or are you going with Can You Feel? We know you're not a big fan of it to begin with.
I'm actually going with Can You Feel the Love Tonight. I think the Star Wars theme just gets too monotonous for me personally compared to the two songs. I know how iconic the Star Wars main theme is, but I can hear it for about 30 seconds and I'm good. I got it. Can You Feel the Love Tonight?
You can
I know I haven't been a big fan of it throughout the show, but to me, compared to Star Wars, I give it the edge personally.
Interesting call.
Kind of surprised by that, but it's a great song. It is a great song. Okay. Oh boy, here we go. This is the last two, right? I did count correctly as we're going through all this.
The battle of the franchises.
When You Wish Upon a Star versus Star Wars. So classic Disney or not so classic Disney, but epic universe. Everybody knows the song.
That's wrong theme park.
Yeah. Didn't even realize what I had said until I said it. Okay.
Yeah, right.
Hawk, let's start with you on the last one here.
This really is kind of impossible, but I think this is where your age is going to come into your choice. Okay. So for me, I was a child born in the 70s. Star Wars came out in 77, was the most amazing movie franchise that anyone had ever seen really at that point into the early 80s. Paused for quite a while. And then the people that grew up with it in my generation had the opportunity to share with their children the next generation of Star Wars. And just the way the timing of it went and how iconic it is as far as in memory banks. And to your point, the strike of that one chord, whether it be the main theme or the Imperial March, doesn't matter. People are jumping up either way. It just creates a hype and, to me, more excitement, and it's more powerful of a song and piece than When You Wish Upon a Star. When You Wish Upon a Star, if you're older and classic Disney through and through, I see people being able to choose that over Star Wars. But for me, my generation and my childhood, Star Wars gets the edge in this one.
Matt, what do you think?
When I think Disney, I think When You Wish Upon a Star. I think Mark Jones hit it right on the head. It is Disney. not only is a song, it's pretty much a tagline for them. As iconic as Star Wars is, there's no memories attached to Star Wars for me personally. So even though When You Wish Upon a Star is older than me, just what it brings to me. Um, like I said, I think the castle. I'm thinking fireworks. I'm in Disney when I hear that song. So for me, that one gets the nod.
Okay, Chuck. What do you think?
No, I was really hoping you were going to go. Wow, this is.
I'm still trying to figure out what I'm picking here.
See, this is why, when Megan got to put this together, she gets to go last, and this is like, dang God, this is hard because somebody had said it earlier. Yeah, Mark had said it earlier. It said, 3 seconds is all you need to invoke the emotions of the theme, and that comment actually applies to both of these. You hear 3 seconds of it, and you either get the feeling of magic and wish fulfillment and wonder, which is When You Wish Upon a Star, or you get this sense of adventure, excitement, and this just spirit of rebelliousness that is the Star Wars main theme. You hear that opening chord, and you can't help but just kind of sit up straight and puff up your chest. You're a hero at that point. It's almost a superhero movie theme that doesn't actually have superheroes in it in the classic sense. I don't know. As Matt was making his statements and Hawk was making his, I'm like, yeah, but you're right, but you're right. So, Matt, earlier you said you were picking your favorite child. This is where I'm having to pick my favorite child here. It is, you're literally choosing between Disney and Star Wars. You're choosing between intellectual properties. You're choosing between worlds. Are you choosing the Disney world, not necessarily Walt Disney World, but the Disney world? Or are you choosing the Star Wars galaxy that it is? And so this is so hard. But in the end, I kind of played each in my head and which one, created that emotion more. And it's the Star Wars main theme. I know some of you are going to go, wow, you're listening in right now to the podcast, or you're watching live, and you're absolutely, cursing me right now and wondering why I'm so crazy. But it's Star Wars. It just, that music defines, and Hawk and I are both older than dirt. And he's right. It defines our generation. It could be the theme song for the 70s child, the kid who grew up in the 70s and very early 80s. It could be our entire theme song. So for that, it's Star Wars. So, Megan, the question is, do we have a winner or do we have a tie?
Oh,
No pressure.
I'm sitting here and I'm doing the same thing Chuck did, where I'm agreeing with everybody, which is really unhelpful. I think for me, in the end, what it comes down to is I consider one of these a true Disney song, and the other one is a song that is owned by Disney. And so I am going with what I consider the Disney song, and I'm going to choose When You Wish Upon a Star. And so we have a tie among the cast.
All right, so we do have a tie. So it's going to the viewers.
We currently have a tie.
I was about to say, so we have Tom that has decided Star Wars. Mark Jones has decided When You Wish. So we do have a tie among the online folks. So
one more comment.
More people are watching that haven't commented yet. So you're gonna somebody else has got to comment and break the tie.
What I want to know is, do I win a prize for being the one to put together the bracket that we can't crack?
No, you don't.
Yeah, I will tell you what. This is a newest.
Next year, you don't get to do this again. This is
Yeah,
Megan's in charge of snacks next year.
So we need
that's
someone
right.
else
Megan's in
to-
charge of snacks.
Someone else needs to.
Yeah,
place
so
a-
somebody out on the who's watching us right now, if you have not shared your thoughts, what are you voting for? When You Wish Upon a Star or the Star Wars main theme? We need you to vote right now because we have a deadlock tie.
One of the things that pops to my mind, I mentioned commercials. My
We don't
very
always see
favorite.
the Facebook comments here, so I'm going to check Facebook.
Oh
real
yeah,
quick.
check those. See what's happening over there because we don't always get those. One of the things that always pops to my mind, I don't even know if When You Wish was the song that was in this commercial. There was a commercial in the early 90s, maybe even the late 80s. These two little kids who are like, they're supposed to be going to sleep. They're going to Disney World the next day, but they're looking out. I think they're at the resort maybe already. And they see the castle. And the little boy gets in bed and he's just like, I'm too excited to sleep. And mom finally gets them down and she gets back in bed. And like she realizes her husband is awake and she's like, why aren't you sleeping? And he goes, I'm too excited to sleep. And
Yeah, that was a
is,
90s
like,
commercial.
the number one commercial for me.
Mhm.
And for whatever reason, I always think of that song, and I'm gonna have to go find it on YouTube. I'm not even sure that that's the song that's in that commercial, but it always makes me think of that commercial. I love that little boy.
We need one more person to comment.
Oh boy.
Either Star Wars
Yep.
or When You Wish
Deadlock.
Upon a Star, and break this tie we sit in. And
Or do we keep the tie and let people listen to this episode and vote on our Facebook page?
We're gonna have to.
We might have to. There might not.
We're gonna have to sit here live until someone votes.
And in the meantime, Chuck is going to do karaoke. We're going to start from the top.
That's right.
We have kids, we have sick family members, we have dogs, we have life going on. We need that vote, people. Our families are relying on you to vote right now. We need one more vote. Star Wars or When You Wish. Star Wars. Oh, Jen comes through to say
That's cheating.
Oh, look at this. Jen comes through.
yes. All right.
But here was your When You Wish Upon a Star. I was trying to stall a little bit, so
You're gonna get us
there is that When You Wish Upon a Star.
Stop playing that.
And then,
You're gonna get Chuck.
He's working on it. He's working on it. Here we go.
Chuck. Mute it. Mute
and then
it
the
out.
Star Wars theme. Oh, whoops, I
Chuck,
can't do that.
Chuck, no.
Yep.
They'll block
So-
the video. Don't play copyrighted music.
Oh, well, they will block the video. That's true.
Caleb's back. We're tied again.
Oh, no, but Caleb comes in and we still are tied.
Oh, we're still tied. That's okay. We got the.
We are still tied. Okay.
Okay, here's what we'll do. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna leave this up till next week's show, and we will look at
Yep.
what the votes are at the end. We have a tie right now between Star Wars and When You Wish Upon a Star. We're over our time limit. We've been on too long.
Yes,
We're
we
gonna
are.
stay midnight, but next week we want you to vote over the course of the next 7 days. By the next episode, when we do our final championship round of the little
Our next
next bracket busting next week, we will come up with the answer and winner for this one based on the votes that occur this week. So if you haven't voted yet,
That is
make-
correct. So we are at a deadlock tie, something brand new for us on March Mouseness. We've never had this happen before in a couple of years of doing this. So you get to be the ones to make the decision. Go to our Facebook page at facebook.com/mousecast2025 and comment on the show and share your thoughts. We'll actually put out a special post.
We did
So, and
have
actually,
a
I think we'll even,
for the first time because Megan and Matt are wrong.
well, there we go.
I don't know.
Old school, new school.
Yeah, that's right.
It's you
Something
versus
like
the
that.
elders.
He is,
Matt, you were raised in New England. Didn't you always get taught to respect your elders?
That's right.
To an extent.
Look, I can't help it that
Some of the elders.
Right.
Hawk and I over here,
Throwing them
little,
off the
little
road.
digital fist bump like that. We are,
Yeah, we're like,
woo,
woo! This way. There we go.
this way. There we go, like that. Digital fist bump, like that. So, alrighty. So it's up to you now.
Stumpy.
It's up to you. You're the ones getting ready to decide which is the Mousecast March Mouseness winner. Is it the Star Wars main theme or is it When You Wish Upon a Star? Vote on our Facebook channel. Coming up next week, we will have our fourth quarter of March Mouseness. We are going to look at souvenirs. Souvenirs, the things that you take home from the Disney parks and you get home and realize, I spent too much money. So that will be our final 16. I don't know that we'll necessarily have the same thing and end in a deadlock tie. Kudos to Megan for coming up with the world's worst and most difficult 16 to come up with, that we are so deadlocked now that we can't come up with a winner. So you're going to decide with it. Remember that we do this every Tuesday night here live on Mousecast. So we hope that you will join us every Tuesday night. So join us. Be sure to join us next Tuesday night live right here on Facebook, live right here on YouTube, as we will go over round 4, and you'll learn who the winner is for round 3 of March Mouseness, the top Disney song. This is Mousecast, the podcast where the mind meets the magic. So until next time, we'll see you.
Thank you for listening to Mousecast. We appreciate the time you share with us. And tonight was a very fun show. And joining us is a must. This is where the mind meets the magic. We dive a little deeper every time. Theme parks, cruise ships, and travel. If you don't listen, maybe now it's time. Now it's cast, now says goodnight. Next week we will have new things to see.